everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you're really well. We are going to be talking about an alarming, it's not even that new sadly, but we are going to be talking about the Kering Group and LVMH and how they have seemingly doubled the amount of stock since 2014 to 2023 that they haven't sold, so unsold stock. And there have been some developments in France, but soon to be in Europe as well, where brands are not allowed to destroy stuff anymore. Gone are the days where they could light a bonfire and chuck everything on it. Thank God for that, because that was awful. That was criminal. But we're going to be going through the numbers. How much exactly in unsold stock are we looking at here? Because it is in the billions. Yes, the billions. We're also going to be talking about TJ Maxx and probably TK Maxx as well in the UK, and what those two companies are up to, because they're up to some shady stuff themselves. And also there were some really good comments under one particular article, including a comment from someone who says they used to work at LVMH, and he was talking about the staff sales and how staff buy and flip pre-loved, like not pre-loved, like the brand new stuff, but they sell it on eBay or whatever, how they're doing this and making money. Do you know, before I tell you that though, I just got this email. So this morning I woke up and I was browsing eBay and I saw this Dior necklace that I actually own, and I saw it and I thought, oh my god, that's a really bad fake. That I like, when I say it's fake, I mean it's really atrocious. And if you hadn't seen the real thing, you probably wouldn't notice the little nuances with it, the little the details that make you realise it's fake. But one of the big clues was it came with a dust bag, and this dust bag had Dior written on it, but it was written in like Times New Roman. It was not in the brand's logo font. The bag was also the wrong colour, the dust bag. Apparently it was brand new, but there was no receipt. It just, all this stuff didn't add up. But not even the receipt thing, they'd not called it Dior in the title, they referred to it as CD, but in the description they went on to say that it was Dior and it was real, etc. And they want over £200 for it. So anyway, I thought, you know, that's really bad, someone's going to get scammed here. So I reported it to eBay, and then they wrote back just now and they've said, we've checked it and it's not fake. And I'm like, it is. It's like a bad fake. It's a bad fake, and it makes you question the authenticity process with eBay, because that's the first thing I thought. I thought, if you think that's real, then how can we trust your authenticity process? That's just me. That's just something I'm thinking. But I don't know, alarm bells, to be honest. But anyway, let's get on to this subject. So what we are looking at here are luxury fashion brands that are left with billions of dollars worth of unsold products last year alone. And here is where their stuff has gone. And in fact, it's not easy to find out where it's gone. I've tried digging. It's really not easy. So let's talk numbers. How much are we talking about here? Okay, so LVMH and Kering, the parent companies behind brands like Louis Vuitton, Gucci and Saint Laurent, saw their unsold stock inventory more than double between 2014 and 2023. More than double. The article goes on to say, in 2023 alone, LVMH reported 3.2 billion euros in unsold goods, while Kering checked in at less, but 1.5 billion, you know, still a billion, do you know what I'm saying? And I did read somewhere that only makes up 4%. So I guess for them, they don't really care because it makes up 4%. It's not like it's 10% or even 5%, you know, it's like 4%. But even so, that's a lot of money. And not only that, that's a lot of bags and shoes and God knows what else that you don't know what to do with. But one thing that really surprised me, you know, is that I've always said, and I kind of do still stick by it, but I've always said that I think overproduction doesn't just create wastage and loss of revenue, but to me, overproduction also degrades exclusivity. What is luxury anymore? Is luxury standing in a queue outside one of these stores? Is luxury buying a bag off a shelf where they're plentiful and it's not limited edition and anyone can walk in and get one? But also, when something is in abundance, is that really luxury? Or when we think about luxury and true luxury, are we thinking about brands like Hermes, where you only get the stuff if you're selected? Are we talking about brands like Chanel, where that, you know, they don't make loads and loads and loads of stuff? Not anymore. I mean, they still do on some bags, but not on everything. And there's wish lists in place. But listen to this. 4.7 billion euros of unsold goods, right? Apparently, manufacturing in excess is considered less expensive than losing sales due to a lack of product. Wow, that completely gets rid of my argument, doesn't it? I thought that you make too much stuff and it goes in the bin, or it goes on the fire, or it goes on the trash heap, that you're losing money. But actually, no, they're making more money by overproducing and chucking stuff in the bin after than they are if they make less product. It's greed, isn't it? As far as I'm concerned, it's wastage, and it's so bad on the environment. And you know what? In my eyes, it's really disrespectful, and the workers, the people who put these bags together, the people that create the raw materials, it just rubbishes their work and their craftsmanship and their attention to detail. It's just shocking. So what is the solution? Well, in essence, it doesn't look like they really have one just yet. Can't remember if I said, but in France, I think I did. In France, the destroying of luxury goods, or any goods because you didn't sell it, is now illegal. And it looks like that's going to be brought in Europe as well, which I'm really, really pleased about, because let's be honest, as I say, destroying stuff is gross. It's not nice. But I found an article that says it's not enough to implement the old initiatives to get rid of unsold goods. For example, staff sales, friends and family events, other private sales and outlets. Unsold goods were also destroyed in the past to avoid impacting the brand's image. This practice has now been banned in France and will soon be across Europe. It's a large issue for the industry, says, I think that's Business of Fashion. If you are a large brand with a lot of unsold stock, it's very hard to find a large-scale solution. What do we all think? I don't actually know a solution in this instance, because you can't discount it. Because if you discount it, everyone realises it was never worth that in the first place. And I think we already realise that. But it also erodes exclusivity. You're not a very luxury brand if you're having a fire sale every year, excuse the pun. So what are they meant to do? Certain brands that have outlets as well, are they really as luxury as like a Chanel or an Hermes, where they wouldn't dream of having an outlet? What do we think? One comment that I saw underneath one of these articles that I think is really good is from someone who said, I did IT consulting work for LVMH a couple of times. Employees were allowed to purchase up to 5 items each a year with discounts of 80% or more. A lot of employees made some nice side money by selling the bags they bought. Many would buy additional bags by having employees with no interest in the sale to make the purchases for them under their name. That's really interesting. I actually have heard of this. I know that some brands do staff sales, and I would fully imagine that some of those staff do flip things. Even if they use things first and they buy them with no interest in selling them, but then further down the road, they're like, oh, I don't really use this anymore, I'm going to sell it. I bought it for 80% off. I can sell it for like a load and make a really good profit here. I get why they would do it. Your viewpoint on whether that's right or wrong is bespoke to you. I kind of think, particularly if someone's not earning a lot for one of these companies, I don't have a problem with it. As long as they're selling something that's real. My problem is when people sell fake stuff and palm it off as the real thing. That's what really annoys me. Now let's talk about TJ Maxx and what they're doing, because they are up to some shady stuff. And you think about TJ Maxx, or you think about lesser brands, lower brands that aren't luxury, and you think, oh, well, they're not doing it. They are. They're doing it as well. Everyone's up to it. Everyone is doing this. So TJ Maxx, I don't know if you're familiar, but I don't know how they select what they do, but they will take certain items, maybe stuff that's not selling or whatever, stuff that they don't want to discount any more than it already is. And they will literally take a blade to bags and then they'll go and chuck them in dumpsters out the back. Brand new stuff that's very good, and I think it's criminal to do that. Then people go dumpster diving. They take stuff and they go and make haul videos on it, and they fix stuff up, they patch things up. And you know, I saw one Instagram reel a while ago of a girl who found I think it was like a Juicy Couture bag, and it hadn't been destroyed, it hadn't been cut. So she was able to use it and enjoy it. And I thought, yeah, you know, it's better than it going in landfill. Landfill stresses me out. The thought of the rubbish that us humans produce really, really stresses me out. When I think about landfill, I can't stand to think about it. So to put a perfectly good bag in the trash is just awful. Do you know what else this girl found? She was in the bin. She found brand new hair straighteners in the box, and they worked. She could see nothing wrong with them, because later in the video, she's like, do they even work? They did work. Why would you do that? Why would you chuck perfectly good stuff in the bin? It just makes no sense. But I'm just going to read out something from an article I found on this topic. It says what's happening. So this post appeared on a Reddit thread, and it said, the thread or the comment said, it's infuriating enough that stores throw out perfectly good products that didn't sell. Now they cut them into pieces before throwing them out so people won't go dumpster diving to use them. I mean, as I say, I just think destroying stuff for money, I don't know. Then it goes on to say, a disturbingly common practice amongst businesses getting rid of merchandise is to damage the items before throwing them away so they can't be reclaimed. It doesn't just happen in America, it's an international problem, one Redditor has shared in a Canadian article in French that details the same wasteful practices. Do you know of other stores doing this? Are you watching this going, oh, Sophie, it's not just TJ Maxx, it's not just the luxury brands, this other brand does it? Please leave your comment below. This topic is just mind-blowing, that for the sake of money, brands will just trash stuff so they don't have to discount it anymore. I don't know. Let me know what you think though. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.